Hello, hello. Let's get you a message. I just wrapped another session for my new YouTube series that I am planning to launch in June called Shadows of the Heart, where I take a look at individuals' birth charts and their astrology to help them figure out their dating habits and patterns and what sort of shadows are lurking in their charts. So I'm feeling a love relationship related reading right now. Specifically, what came through was what is love trying to teach you? So let's take a look. See, obviously, use your discernment. Don't mind my hair. Use your discernment. See how you feel within your body with the messages that we receive, if it is giving you goosies, chills, if you're feeling emotional, if your mind is going to specific memories. These are all signs that this may be a message that you are meant to hear. If you are doing mental gymnastics, trying to make everything fit, or, again, morphing everything into something that could make sense for you, it's probably not for you. So, let's start with some deep breaths to ground. So, whatever position is most comfortable for you at this time. Palms down to ground, palms up to receive. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable and just take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right. Oh, that felt good. Okay. Let's see. Where do we want to start? I want to see where you're at right now with your love life. Let's start there. So, cutting to release your ex. Let's take a look. See. Also, one time for the nails. Oh, see that cat eye? This one's all different because I was a hand model. If you haven't already seen on my newsletter at returntoself.me, I partnered with a Prey for the launch of their Astral Gel collection where they modeled their finishes and colors on me. And then I did a live tarot reading. So that's on my newsletter if you want to at least see the portion of the reading. It's up there, reconciliation. All right, Spirit, please show me the current status or energy within love for the person I'm reading for. Please and thank you. Okay. Reconciliation at the bottom. You deserve love at the top. You may be really focusing on self love at this time, or that has been a priority for you. Perhaps this is something that you've noticed has been an area of difficulty for you that has affected your relationships and your ability to sustain relationships. We got calling in your soulmate, keep an open mind and chemistry. So I feel like for whoever this message is for, I don't know that you are necessarily in partnership with someone, but there may be someone on your mind when we talk about this. This is someone that perhaps you feel is a soulmate of yours, and maybe you are trying to, again, with this reconciliation at the bottom, perhaps you're trying to see if things have potential. There's a lot of chemistry within this partnership, this relationship, but there's something about your expectations or something mentally that might be holding you back as well. I want a little, can we get 3 more? Just want to get some more on this. Okay. Ooh. Mm. Okay. So for some of you, this may be someone completely new that you're calling in, or with new love here. Ooh, wedding at the top. Okay. So a couple things. It feels like for some of you, there is someone on your mind, but for others of you, you are trying to call someone new in, call in a soulmate, someone who um, can really give you the stability, the security that perhaps you have not experienced with love in the past. There is something about healing. And again, because I put it under keep an open mind, there may be mindset patterns or habits that you are healing at this time in order to get into alignment with this relationship. And it may have to do with your family in some way because we have healing family issues as well. There may be some sort of ancestral or inherited belief system, outlook, perspective, or expectation when it comes to relationships that is holding you back from being in alignment with the energy that you are calling in for partnership because of what you may be clouded by that you don't even necessarily realize. I'm also feeling incredibly drowsy. So I don't know if you're getting enough rest, if you're eating, drinking water, but I'm feeling very ungrounded in my body right now. So you may be sort of like in this state of here, but not here. What I'm also getting is you have a very vivid dream state. So it's almost like you're in between realms at this time. But we also have release your ex coming out again. So there may be past partnerships or past partners that you are still holding on to energetically or that are clouding again your ability to kind of wipe the slate clean and experience something different. There may be someone who you did have a lot of chemistry with, but it wasn't aligned for what you wanted within partnership. And so, again, that may be blocking this flow of new energy coming into your life. But you are being guided to remember that first and foremost, you deserve love. You deserve someone who is capable of showing up for you, of loving you wholly, authentically, completely, of being aligned with you. Again, with wedding at the top, that might be something that is important to you, or you are sort of in that mindset of being ready to commit long term with someone or create something substantial that is that you want to build over time. Anything else coming through here? I mean, again, I know this is the romance angels deck, but there's so many angelic illustrations here, which makes me feel like whether you recognize it or not, you are being very divinely led when it comes to your love life. There is something about what I'm feeling is there's something bigger than you that has to do with your partnership. I'm feeling ancestral healing. I'm feeling grounding, a certain energetic frequency through your partnership. It's very divine. And I think you know that. Like, whether this is someone who you already know or you just completely being open to someone new, I think you know that your your experience with partnership is not surface level. It's not casual. I don't think I'm talking to a very casual kind of like, oh, well, I'll do it just to do it type of person. This is a an initiation for you when it comes to partnership. Like, that whoever you build with and whoever you choose to connect with in this life, it's for a bigger purpose than just your relationship. And I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, you've had to do a lot of healing work to even get into the headspace and energy of allowing yourself to consider partnership of this magnitude. Perhaps you grew up seeing a certain dynamic when it comes to marriage or commitment or just relationships in general. You may be someone who had a lot of karmic experiences with love and relationships, or really sort of soul transformative experiences, intense, passionate experiences with love. And that was all meant to help you see your shadows, to see your habits, to see your patterns, and to see what might be blocking you when it comes to aligning with this energy of love that you are meant to experience in this lifetime. I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, you are meant to be with a divine partner in this lifetime. And again, what I mean by that is the alignment. There is something that when you two come together, it is greater than you. Children may be significant here as well with all these baby angels showing up, but I don't know. We'll see. My back is hurting. So perhaps your back is also feeling some aches and pains, but it may also just be not feeling very grounded or nourished. Okay, I want to see more about the lessons you have been having with love. Or actually, since release your ex kept coming up, let's take a look at that. Okay, for whoever this message is for, can you show me their last relationship, please, with that release your ex card? Tell me more about that. Let's shuffle. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So again, I feel like I'm talking to two different collectives here. So please use your discernment and take what resonates. So on one end, what I'm getting is your last relationship. You may have pictures of you and this person that you are sort of looking at nostalgically. You may be missing this person, wanting to sort of stay in the mindset, the time frame, the energy of whatever that time was. This may have been someone where you felt like they were your key to abundance in some way. There was something about you sort of manifesting them or seeing them as a blessing in your life or seeing them as someone who came in to bless your life in some way. But then we also got seduction here. So there may have been a very seductive energy between you, a lot of attraction, a lot of temptation, but there was also some third party interference or something happening with bringing other people into the relationship in some way. And it feels like you are in a place of ascending beyond that with ascension here. This was a learning opportunity for you. This was allowing you to close out any old cycles, any old beliefs, habits, like I was talking about earlier, that were preventing you from starting a new phase when it comes to love and relationships. This was someone who also showed you your abundance within yourself. They allowed you to see how you are worthy of a love beyond what you have accepted in the past. And then for others of you, I'm feeling like if you resonated with a restart with someone from the past, a reconciliation, then someone has been healing through this time apart. There's been expansion, there's been transcendence that's happening, sort of this preparation for a new cycle to begin, for a new beginning. And this is especially true with their mindset. And perhaps it's mirrored, I don't know. But either way, there's positive mindset energy with this abundance card here as well. So there may be something which takes me back to the healing family issues card. Perhaps part of those issues were this sort of like certain particular perception or perspective that was passed down that was very fear based. And so, again, always ruminating, overthinking on the worst case scenario, everything that can go wrong. There was something through this ascension and learning process that allowed you and or this person to understand how they were contributing to the fear that they were experiencing within their partnerships and the blocks they were experiencing by sabotaging due to the fear that they kept reliving and fueling within the mind. This person and or you may have seen each other as a manifestation, someone that you prayed for, someone that you experienced a lot of bliss and show gratitude for regardless of the outcome. There was something about, I know this person was meant to be in my life. I know that they were someone important to me, and you show gratitude for that as well. Again, there may be some pictures that you look at of the both of you to reminisce. Some there is definitely this energy of missing them, or they're missing you, missing each other, wanting to make new memories with each other. But again, with the seduction card, again, may be strong attraction. There may have been some hookups, some dates, some spicy energy, but with third party, that may have been an issue. That may have come in the middle of your partnership or may have been a reason for separation. I actually want to get some clarity cards for each one of these. Paradise at the bottom, happiness and joy, playfulness. You may have felt really playful around each other. This is someone who may have brought out your inner child and made you realize, like, oh my gosh, there is this sort of level of paradise that I can experience. What I'm also getting, though, as I say that, is you may have part of that sort of mindset thing. You may have talked yourself out of that experience by trying to tell yourself, like, oh, it's just the honeymoon phase. Like, this would fade. This isn't real. This wouldn't last. And then blowing kiss at the top of the deck. Unconditional love, affection returned. I feel like, again, this is someone who there was equal interest. It was reciprocated. If that is the collective that you are resonating with. So let's get some clarity, because if this whole reading is going to be two ways, that's going to be quite interesting. Okay, might be. All right. Can we get clarity for each of these cards, please? Hooked. Okay. This is making sense now. Paradise coming out again. All right, so you guys may not be in communication at this time. Boundaries may have been an issue here. Either way, someone's avoiding confrontation or conversation. Someone's still upset about either boundaries that were placed or whatever your last point of communication was. It may have been a hurtful conversation. There may have been things that came up that were really hard to deal with. But then again, talking at the top. So it's like there may have been a long time of no communication, no contact, but someone is feeling the urge to send a text, to call, to email, to talk more, to sort of open that line of communication. Or if you feel like you are on the receiving end of that, you may be feeling this person's energy and you can tell, like, oh my, like you may check your phone thinking that you're going to see them on your phone. Like you just anticipate hearing from them because they may be in your space. So I'm glad I asked for clarity because now this is making more sense. Under ascending, we have soulmates, soul connection, partnership, soul contract, life partner. I don't think I know that for whoever this is for, you know this person is a soulmate of yours. You know that there is something beyond your rational mind that brought you together. There's something really special here for you. And you know that this is a partnership that was meant to help you break out of old beliefs, cycles, and habits that were keeping you stuck in old energy. There is something about the way this person may have come in with soul contract here that felt very serendipitous or the timing of it was very particular. And again, it was to help you transform and begin this sort of ascension phase so that you can close out this old energy and prepare for a new cycle within relationships. Now, something that this person triggered within you is this feeling of not being enough. Under abundance, we got not enough, lacking confidence, self sabotage, ego and fear, frustrations. So, what I'm also getting is your abundance blocks were showing up in multiple areas of your life, in your relationships and with your finances. So, for whoever I'm talking to, you were also experiencing financial difficulty when it came to this. It wasn't specifically when it came to this partnership, but there was something about the way you reject certain love that is also reflective of the way you reject yourself, which is then also being shown in the way that you may not receive the abundance financially that you feel you are worthy of. But deep down, the shadow, which again, if you haven't already, all of May, my shadow work audio course is only $25 in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. So if you're working through the shadow, that's going to be a really helpful tool. I'll put the link down below. You had a core wound of feeling as though you were not enough. And that leaked into all areas of your life when it came to your success, when it came to your career, when it came to your finances, when it came to love and partnership. You didn't have the confidence to believe that you were worthy of something of this magnitude, especially if you saw it as a soulmate universe gift from the heavens that came up. So if this is for you, when this arose and entered your life, your thought was, oh my gosh, this is what I prayed for. And oh my gosh, I'm not ready for this. I don't think I deserve this. It's not for me. So you sabotaged. You went into your old habits and old patterns. Your ego took hold. It created all the fears that you're used to. And it continued this narrative that had you showing up in a way where you knew you would screw it up, because then it led you to what you were comfortable with, which is being unattached and not having to worry about this. Now, we got karmic relationship under seduction. So there were people that came in between you two. There was some. So there may have been more than one, but there were third party situations that were karmic energies coming in the way of your partnership in order to bring all that karmic energy to the surface. There were triggers that needed to be triggered to come up to their awareness, and perhaps yours. I wouldn't be surprised if this is mirrored. There may have been a lot of intensity within these situations because it was meant to also highlight any resentment and any difficulty when it came to letting go. What is the story? What is the pattern when it comes to not being able to let things go? And also perception. There is something very important when it came to the healing journey for this ascension that had to do with perception. It was, what is the lens that I'm seeing all of this through? What is the story that I keep telling myself through what I am receiving to continue whatever narrative needs to be shared or accepted so that I can continue showing up in ways that I always have been. So you and or this person's perception has been triggered, your resentments have been triggered, your intensity within relationships and difficulty with letting go has been triggered, as well as any turmoil and fleeting relationships. Like, was that a safer experience of having sort of one-time hookups or things that you knew did not have longevity because then it kept you safe in not having to be vulnerable, transparent, and invest and commit into partnership, which would then reveal who you are underneath the mask that is feeling not enough. And so I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, you also have this sort of defense mechanism of performing. And so part of the reason why commitment and longevity may be scary within partnership is because you know that over time that mask is going to come off and you fear what would happen when someone sees you for who you actually are, and you are afraid that you will not be enough for them to stay. Again, these are all stories you are creating. There is no evidence of that. This is something that has happened. So I know this was your last relationship. So again, this feels very much geared more towards something that may be starting a new phase, but again, take it as it resonates. Paradise came out again under picture. So I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, you look at pictures of the both of you together, and there is a sense of paradise, of joy, of bliss, of wanting to enjoy each other again, of feeling like, dang, I was really happy with this person, spending time with this person, and the playfulness that you feel with each other, cutting the deck to healing heart. Yeah, there was healing that needed to happen here, healing heartbreak, toxicity or addiction, perhaps abusive relationships, healing from that as well. Okay, well, let's see. Then I want to see the old phase and the new phase. I still feel like there's two separate energies here. Maybe I can clarify. Spirit, can you show me? Is this for a reconciliation or an entirely new relationship? Mental conflict. Yeah, because I'm having mental conflict right now. Destiny. 234. You may be seeing that at this time. Lots of soulmate energy here. Maybe you're someone who is in the midst of trying to figure out if it's worth still holding on to someone from the past, this past experience, or just completely letting go and starting new. But what I'm also getting is, regardless of that, with destiny at the top, like this feels very faded. So, regardless of what you think you need to do or not do, again, control with temptation at the bottom, that might be, which makes sense because new beginnings. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. Solar plexus, confidence. That confidence, not enough. I'm just going to keep reading this as it's coming out because the energy I'm feeling is, regardless of if it's someone from the past or someone new, the lesson that love is trying to teach you is the same. So don't hyper focus on whether or not this is about someone that you already know or someone new that's coming in, because either way, even if it's someone from the past, it's a completely new chapter, a completely new energy, a new cycle. So it's almost like it's someone new anyway. What is most important with this is your energy and how you are going to move about this. So again, I feel like you may have mental conflict. You may overthink a lot about whether or not um, this is something that's meant for you, how to move forward, but it also feels like you're being guided. So listen to the guidance that you are getting with partnerships and alliances, a spiritual card coming out here. When this card comes out, I feel like there is a creative collaboration or something that's meant to happen with someone who keeps coming up for you. Pay attention to, does this person's name come up? Do signs of them come up a lot? Are you seeing their birthday? Are you seeing their initials? Are you getting feelings of reaching out? Are you getting like, and again, discernment, not reaching out just to see, to like do a temperature check. This is reaching out with firm foundation because you're ready to build something. You are ready to move forward. You're ready to do something with this energy. And I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, this is important. Making sure there is stability and security within yourself is important because you know that is going to be the foundation of everything else. Now, with temptation, which is the devil card at the bottom of the deck, you've had to face a lot of your shadows, a lot of your habits, a lot of your addictions that may have prevented you from acquiring this sort of firm foundation within yourself first and then in your external reality. We saw that with the abundance and not enough. This was part of your destiny, part of your awakening, part of aligning you with your true path. Confirmation burp. You may be seeing 1010 a lot as well. October may be significant, October 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. Either way, you are someone who is aligning with your destined path. You are getting the guidance that you need when it comes to partnership, and you are being shown where your shadows are still trying to get control and take hold of whatever it is that's pulling you back. And again, what's coming up for me is control. You may be someone, whether you recognize it or not, that is a bit of a controlling person. And it's not because you necessarily want to be, but it's because you've learned that you need to have control in order to feel safe. You need to know what's coming up, what's coming next, what to do, the next 10 steps, whatever else, because you don't like being caught without a plan. You need to know how to act, how to be, which again is taking me back to having to perform for love and affection. You don't like being caught off guard because you fear that if you were just to show up authentically, it's not enough. So you almost have to prepare. But what you keep being shown is you do not have to prepare in that way. You need to take the mask off. And what you need to prepare for is to acknowledge and recognize the things that are holding you back and contributing to this self sabotage. So the mask can come off and you can be who you are. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be with anyone who doesn't want you for you. But they're not even going to know who you are if you keep trying to hide your authenticity and who you are behind the mask of what you have created over time in order to please everyone around you in the environment that you grew up in. That's how you know it. That's a channel. Barely took a breath. Okay, so let me see first what this new phase is going to entail. Hmm. Show me this new phase for this collective. What is this new phase about? Hmm. I think you know this. You feel it. You know that this new phase is going to require some big changes. What else? Mental conflict coming in. Okay, so lots of mental cards. Prosperity begins. Physical card. We love to see that. Truth. This new phase will require the truth. That might scare some of you. New beginnings. I love that. All right, so let's take a look. See, I always pay attention as well to how I place the cards because that's significant, especially when I'm not doing it on purpose. So we got movement, choices, and decisions of physical cards. So this next chapter may require a physical move of some kind, but either way, there are choices and decisions that need to be made within your physical environment, your physical day-to-day experience for this next chapter. There is some sort of awareness or information that will illuminate this path for you with it being placed underneath. You may have gotten this awareness already. It kind of feels like you got it already. If not, I feel like it's coming, like it's right there. And that's going to help you better decide how to move forward. And again, with this, it may have something to do with your job, your money. We got rings here and wedding showed up earlier. So it might have to do again with commitment, with partnership, but there's new growth here. There is something where doors are being opened to you, but you have to walk through them. So whatever choices and decisions that are coming up for you at this time, there is intuitive guidance, awareness that you are receiving to help you with this decision. Now, we also got deception and envy, a mental card here. And then we got memories of love, an emotional card underneath. What I'm getting with this is this new chapter is going to require you to release and let go of any harbored resentment or memories within your past relationships and experiences with people. Your mind is a strong tool, but I think for a long time it may have worked against you, it may have deceived you, it may have created situations that weren't necessarily true. It was doing what it knows what to do in order to keep you safe, which was really keeping you stuck in a cycle that you were meant to break out of. So when it comes to emotional matters or emotional experiences, especially if you do resonate with the whole third party situation and everything that happened in the past, this next chapter, because it is new energy, it is a new beginning. I'm not saying to act like it didn't happen, but it is going to require your effort and acknowledgement that you are willing to let go of what happened in the past and move forward. Obviously, repair will be necessary, especially if it's someone from your past that you are being involved with again. But either way, at the same time, when you are inviting love into your life, then it's going to require that you make sure you don't bring that past baggage and memory with you so that you don't take it out on this person that has nothing to do with what you experienced in the past. Close that book, close the door, let it be where it is, but don't let your mind continue to keep this narrative alive that's actually blocking you from the experiences of love that you desire. Now, we also got mental conflict, and then we got new beginnings. So again, I feel like this new chapter, this new cycle is going to reveal to yourself how much stronger you are than your mind. Again, I feel like mindset patterns, if you haven't already, watch my webinar, Breaking Through the Blocks, Your Four Internal Villains. I talk about the parts of your energy blocks within the mind that prevent you from breaking through and allowing yourself to see things clearly, your perception. Your mental conflict is going to be released with this new chapter because of this new beginning. So again, it's almost like a double message here of leaving whatever you have carried with you in the past. Don't let your mind take you back to a time that no longer exists. Now, again, depending on the situation, there may need to be repair, and that comes with its own thing. But overall, leave the past in the past. This is a new beginning for you where you don't have to rely on your mind so much because I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, you are also someone who may try to analyze and look out for any sort of threats or danger or signs because again you fear being in the moment. That's really what it is. You fear being in the moment. You're always either caught up in the past or worrying about the future. You're missing the now. You're not here. And so with this new beginning, you're being asked to really silence your mind and just try to be as present as possible so that you don't fall back into habits that are tearing you away from the moment that you're experiencing. Yes, cutting to financial and material changes. So, whatever this next chapter is, your physical environment is going to change as well. We love to see that prosperity begins at the bottom. So, it is a very prosperous beginning. But again, rest and rejuvenate mental card. Quiet the mind, solitude, maybe spending some time um, really acknowledging what comes up for you and what you need to meditate on in order to move forward. And again, we had truth at the top. So honesty is the best policy and it's an expensive one. And that is why not a lot of people practice it because it is too expensive. So this next chapter will require you to prioritize the truth. Now, that is the truth within yourself, the truth of what you know, the truth of what you feel, truth with others. Be honest with yourself, be honest with other people. That is going to be crucial moving forward. Now, let's go to the tarot. And I want to see what love is teaching you at this time. And then we'll see what you're activating within this next cycle. And that will be it. Nice and to the point. All right. Spirit, please show me for this collective. What is love teaching them at this time? I heard the word surrender and trust. The Hierophant. Commitment keeps coming up. What else? Hmm. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, see, Nine of Swords in reverse at the bottom. Releasing fear, releasing doubt, releasing, ooh, Queen of Swords in reverse at the top. All right, let's get into it. Love is teaching you. Ten of Cups and Ace of, oh my gosh, you guys. I feel so basic right now, but it is what it is. We got the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Ten of Cups and Judgment. Oh, this is divine. That's what love is teaching you. Oh, I'm almost like getting a little emotion. And the Four of Wands underneath the Nine of and the Three of Swords. Okay. Okay, a lot is coming through. I'm going to try to get this out as best as I can. There was a lot of fear, a lot of just like mental torment, depression, anxiety, overthinking, rumination, a lot of mental torment in the mind because of experiences that you had with heartache, with pain, with grief, with loss, also with your home life. There may have been something when you were growing up, whether with your parents, with your family, with what you saw around you, that really made you feel a lack of support when it came to love and safety and security. And it bled into your perception of relationships and commitment and stability and really investing in someone. What I'm also hearing is relationships growing up may have been fleeting, the relationship with your parents or whatever else. There's something about you seeing relationships being really fleeting. And so you taught yourself like, oh shit, people can just leave. I'm not doing that. Like I am not going to commit to someone if they can just up and leave like that. You almost wanted to protect yourself from the fear of being abandoned. There is like this deep fear of once you recognize that people can leave. So again, I really feel like someone left. It may have been a parent, it may have been a divorce, it may have been your own relationships when you were younger with someone you really cared about, someone maybe a sibling or someone you loved. Someone left. You felt abandoned. And that created a deep core wound of, oh my gosh, if someone I love that deeply who claims to love me can leave like that, then I don't want to open my heart up again in that way. There's a lot of pain, sorrow, and grief over the fact that you felt like love was sort of dangerous. It was this dangerous thing that could really penetrate the most vulnerable parts of you. And so you created a shield, and instead you lived in your mind. You didn't want to live in your body. Now, you, part of this healing journey for you that love has been teaching you with the Queen of Swords in reverse at the top is you may have realized how manipulative you can be and how perhaps cold or deceitful or pessimistic you could be, especially when it came to love, especially when it came to the people around you that you claimed to care about and that you claimed to love. And in some weird screwed up way, it's almost like you then embody the very energy that you claimed to want to not ever experience again. So not only did you experience it again, you became it. And in some way, unconsciously, it feels like you became it because then you felt like you had power over it because now it's not something you experience, it's something you do, whether you were aware of it or not. Again, this is the shadow at play. And so you became perhaps bitter, harsh, again, dishonest, unforgiving, spiteful, all of these different Queen of Swords in reverse energies because you felt like that was what you needed to do to protect yourself from the pain that you have felt in the past. And again, it doesn't have to be a romantic loss, it can be. And I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, it definitely was, but the root of it was familial. The family keeps coming up here. Now, what I love to see here is that love has been teaching you through this journey commitment to yourself first and foremost and to love. There is something about you learning spiritual wisdom. I feel like love in some way showed you the magic again. And this is when I get a little emotional again because there's, ooh, I'm getting emotional because what I'm hearing is love made you believe in God again. And I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, you may have grown up with a certain belief system or with certain religious ideologies or traditions with the Hierophant here. But it's almost like love is teaching you your own set of tradition and belief systems and knowledge that is rooted in something that's actually authentic and true for you, as opposed to something that you were fed and made to believe and follow. And so I also feel like for whoever I'm talking to, you may have been a bit rebellious against sort of traditional ideals or beliefs. Oh my gosh, stop. This is really beautiful. And that's how you know it's a soulmate because they healed a part of your soul. There is a soul expansion that happened. It wasn't just about superficial sort of needs or physical intimacy or just um feeling lonely and wanting company and companionship. It was revealing your soul to yourself and everything that was getting in the way of embodying that level of true love and divinity. This is the type of love that makes you believe in God again. This is the type of love that makes you believe in magic because everything about it was magic. Oh, you guys, my goodness. This was very karmic in nature with judgment here. This was like a reckoning. This was a judgment call on your life. There was something where you were really going down a path that was not healthy and no longer aligned for you. And this was a wake-up call. Something really forced you to self-evaluate, to really take a look at your life, to take a look at yourself, and to take a look at how you were choosing to see yourself and your life and how you were moving and whether or not it was with intention and whether or not it was truly aligned with what you knew you wanted for yourself. Again, this Hierophant, this is a powerful being. This is someone who doesn't mess around. The Hierophant is the counterpart to the High Priestess. It's not about conforming, it is about choosing. And perhaps again, I'm feeling a lot of rebellious energy around conforming to what you may have placed into traditional ideals because you didn't want to experience what you saw. But what you were missing was that you get to create whatever that looks like. So again, we also have the Four of Cups here. You were focused so much on what wasn't working around you or within your life that you didn't realize like this was a gift being given to you from heaven. It's not the same as everything else you keep focusing on. This was meant to change and shift. And that's why earlier I said there's something about this connection coming together that is bigger than you. It is bigger than just whatever this relationship is. There is something that is teaching, that is educating, that is bringing spiritual wisdom, grounding it down into this reality. Love was also teaching you how to reevaluate your life and where you were feeling unfulfilled. You may have felt like perhaps this was a missed opportunity, or you may have noticed where you would allow yourself to feel that sort of apathy and discontent and sadness, but not necessarily do anything about it. And so it forced you to sort of ask yourself, well, why do I still accept this level of sadness when I know that I could do something different? What I'm also hearing is you kept finding yourself in situations, relationships, hookups, whatever, that had you feeling very indifferent. And it's almost like that was another marker of, wow, I literally like this person could come and go. I don't really care. Like, I don't really care about whatever happens here. And it's almost like, is that really what is that love? Is that actually love? Which is interesting because I always tell people the opposite of love is not hate because hate still harbors a lot of energy. It has a strong energetic signature. You are really pumping a lot of attention and focus, even when it's hate. So, in a way, love and hate are just two sides of the same coin. The true opposition of love is indifference. And so, love may have been showing you people and situations where you felt completely indifferent about it. And I think in a way that made you feel safe. Ooh, it made you feel safe because a part of yourself was like, oh my, like if they leave, they leave. I don't really care. I'm not that invested. It's not that big of a deal. But what you want is depth, is emotional connection. But that requires a level of vulnerability that you kept denying yourself. Again, that not enough card. And so spirit kept showing you, okay, here's all these, whatever relationships that you keep choosing, and now you feel indifferent about it, and now you're realizing I don't really give a shit about this. And is that the type of relationship I actually want to be in? Or do I actually want love that I give a shit about? I actually care about whether or not this is for me or not, if there is alignment, if I'm going to miss this opportunity, because it's going to keep replaying in your mind. Love was also teaching you how you may be very impatient, how you may experience sort of frustrations or delays because you lacked self control with the Knight of Wands in reverse here. You may have also been passive, just sort of letting things happen, just being like, oh, well, it is what it is, whatever else, but not acknowledging your role in making it what it is. And so there may have been some arrogance here, or you may have been shown how you can be a bit hot tempered, a little volatile, or a little too domineering. Again, going back to that devil card with the control, in order to, again, keep yourself safe. And so you were also being shown, love was teaching you, this isn't how you handle this. And I'm going to show you all these different aspects of yourself that keep coming up when it comes to these relationships you claim to want and how you sabotage it. This was that judgment call. You came to a fork in the road and you had to choose, am I going to continue down this path that I know, or am I going to choose something different? And this judgment call was your awakening. This was bringing you back to your spiritual wisdom, your spiritual knowing, your inner calling. And this is going to require these final decisions. Love is asking you to make a decision. There's also something here about life purpose. You may have been someone who wasn't sure about what your purpose was in this life. You may have felt very, and again, going back to the performance, you may have felt like your purpose was tied to your productivity, to what you do, your career, your title, the amount of money you made. It was very external because you were always seeking that external validation. And what this experience was telling you and teaching you, what love is teaching you, is your purpose comes from within. It is about committing, Hierophant, committing yourself to something greater than you, which is beyond just your work. Your work can be part of it, but this love was showing you, love is teaching you that when you commit yourself to this incredible assignment of soul growth with someone who is mirroring your energy or who is showing you and activating all of this within you, that is a purpose beyond what most can even conceive. Again, Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Ten of Cups. This broke your heart open. The amount of feeling that you have. Ace of Cups, love, new relationship, compassion, creativity, new emotions, emotional awakening, experiencing feelings that you may not have experienced before. A proposal, again, that spirituality, that intimacy. Two of Cups, partnership, mutual attraction. We mentioned that earlier. Unity, mutual respect, really joining forces, coming together to create something together. A very close bond. Again, something that is a connection that enhances, activates, illuminates, triggers, but for good reason. It's electrifying. That made me think of Grease. You may have just watched that, or that might be a movie that you enjoy. It is electrifying. And maybe even when you, if there is, and I think there is, someone specific that you are thinking about with this reading, perhaps when you touched, you felt it. Or maybe you felt them before you saw them. Or maybe you didn't even have to touch them to feel them. Again, that sort of soul resonance, there is something very palpable about this energy, which again allowed you to recognize and understand energy is real. God is real. There is something bigger at play here because what I am experiencing is not like anything else, and it's not meant to be. Ten of Cups. This is complete emotional fulfillment, divine love, happiness, harmony, alignment, a family, blissful relationships, which again, if this is part of your trajectory and what love was trying to teach you, it makes sense that so much family issues would come up because whatever you were taught about family dynamics, about what family looks like, about what marriage looks like, about all that rejection and rebellion with conformity, it was coming up to show you you don't have to Accept that. You don't have to co-sign and engage with that contract. You can create something of your own because it is up to you. Love is teaching you that love can create a new paradigm. It can create a new understanding of what something like this looks like. You may have also been in a lot of isolation, really had to face any loneliness that was coming up, all the repeating past mistakes that were coming up. Love was teaching you how there was a rejection wound here and also how you were allowing yourself to stay stuck and to withdraw because of the fear and because of all of this energy that kept cycling through over and over again. Love was also teaching you, because again, that was the Hermit in reverse, and now we have the Three of Wands. Love was also teaching you growth. It was teaching you foresight. It was teaching you how to make decisions now in order to see the future that you want to see, not just to blindly be like, okay, well, I hope that this is what's in the future. No, it's going to require your cooperation and your buy-in, but that also requires a level of confidence that you needed to embody. There is progress, there is expansion. There are new sights available for you, a new horizon, a new way of being. But again, it requires your active participation in making sure that you are doing your part to bring this to life. Ooh, you guys have me out here doing the most. I love it. I love when energy just flows like this because that also tells me that your energy is very open to this guidance. When it's hard to interpret and to channel, I'm facing resistance with your energy. And so it's hard sometimes, but this is like you're ready. You're open. And something else that's coming through to share is because of the amount of healing work that you have undergone and will continue to do because it's a lifelong journey. With that said, don't fall into the trap of feeling like you have to achieve some certain level of perfection or way of being before you can experience this. You are bound to continue experiencing different situations or triggers or whatever else that are going to call on you to heal whatever is being poked at. But that doesn't mean you are unworthy of love. Okay, this is going back to the performance again. There is a level of perfection that you are taught you had to embody or express in order to gain love, attention, and affection. And this is again showing you you are enough the way that you are, but you keep shutting that love out because you keep telling yourself that there's a level of perfection that you have to obtain before you can open yourself up to love again. And love is telling you the love is already here for you. You are the one rejecting it because you fear being rejected by it. But the love for you is not going to reject you because it already sees you with all your flaws, with all your pain, with all your misjudgments, with everything else that you have acquired up until this point. And it loves you anyway because love is compassionate and love is understanding. And love knows that you are a messy, complex human being with your own story that led you to this moment. And it's not going to hold your past against you because it also knows who you are on a soul level. And that's what it sees first. And that's what it's feeding into. So it's not going to focus on the mistakes of the past the way that you do. It's going to feed into the soul energy of allowing you to really embody who you are that you may have forgotten. We have Taurus energy, Cancer moon energy, Sagittarius energy, Pluto energy, a lot of water energy. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Venus, Pisces, Mars, Aries, Sun, and Virgo here as well. Doesn't have to be, but just additional confirmation in case it helps. All right, let's see what you are activating with this new cycle. Belief in yourself, belief in love. You might be seeing repeating 11s as well. Solar plexus again. We got that in the other deck. So your ego identity, your power, your confidence, your self-will, prosperity again. It's because transition, it's because when you allow yourself to believe that you are worthy of a level of love of this magnitude, that you are worthy of this gift that the heavens have given you, then you are also letting the universe know I am worthy of abundance in every form, of prosperity in every form, because I'm not going to run from this love. Throat chakra. Again, communication. But also, the demon of the throat chakra is lies. So, that truth and honesty, communication. Okay. What is being activated in this new cycle for this collective? Ooh. Oh, there's a pain. Ooh. Throat chakra came out. Communication. Synergy. Okay, so communication is big here. Y'all, we got romantic love, fertility, Gaia, and throat chakra. So, some important ages, dates, just numbers. We got 27, 39, 28, and then 5. So May 27th to the 28th may be important as well. Okay. Romantic love. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. So, again, a type of love that you've never experienced before because it is conscious, it is spiritual, it is doused in the divine and was handed to you with this energy that activated this healing so that you could resonate again with your soul frequency. That's what it was meant to do. Fertility. Now, remember, this is what's activating in this next cycle. So, just again, if you're not ready to have children, if that is not within your plan, be safe, please. Okay. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. So, again, this is birthing a new experience, a new love, a new relationship, a new dynamic when it comes to family, when it comes to commitment, when it comes to partnership, when it comes to even your sense of self. There is a lot of creative energy here, and I mentioned that earlier. You guys might be people who are meant to create something together, whether that's a family or creative projects, anything of that nature. But again, that courageous energy with the solar plexus too coming up here. Gaia, the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. What I'm also getting with that is I feel like because communication is important, whenever communication is opened again, I feel like there is going to be a better understanding of how connected you really are because it feels like you'll learn about telepathic communication or synchronicities or things that were super aligned that will remind you just how connected we all are in different ways. And then throat chakra. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self expression and our sense of peace and balance. Peace and balance was necessary in order for this to come together. But, ooh, but you needed to achieve peace and balance within yourself first. Perhaps in the past, you would outsource peace and balance through your relationships, hoping that the person you were in partnership or who you were seeking would give you the peace and balance that you were lacking within yourself and love was teaching you. That's not something that you go take from other people. That's something you cultivate from within for yourself and bring with you into the situations that you enter. Either way, communication and throat chakra, there is something that needs to be said, a conversation, something that needs to be expressed that keeps coming up. So, love has had many lessons for you, and love, in my belief, is our greatest teacher. It shows us our fears. It shows us our strengths. It shows us our weaknesses. It shows us just what we're willing to do for love. And that's a beautiful thing. So, again, thank you for your trust and for your time in receiving this reading. As always, if you would like a personal session, you can book a one on one with me below. Just as a note, I will be gone for all of July. So if you wanted to get your reading in sooner rather than later, then I would do that because by the end of June until the beginning of August, I will be unavailable. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Best of luck to you. Very proud of you for all the work that you are doing, and let love continue to teach you and guide you back to yourself.